Geek, 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 geek. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is I once again, Lord IBO Hearts. And you're watching CORP Exchange Television, and this is a Wide World of Trade report. The Wide World of Trade report. Yeah, it's big now. It's getting big now. See that big smile? It's big like that big smile on my face. Look at that. All right, so let's get down to business. In the U.S. economy, we can argue all day and all night who destroyed the ozone layer. But we're seeing now that the green and the environment issues that the human beings depend on, not just in the U.S. economy, all around the world, they have an impact on investments, a high impact on investments. And regulation justifies, the exact means of the quality of life within these areas, especially in engineering and chemicals, engineering and energy, and those spaces. Just to name a few, manufacturing and stuff. It all affects airlines. It all affects the economies, and we're talking about stocks and stuff. So, with that being said, new ideas are the basis for the sectors and current modern day. It's a current modern day talking point, and it's highly competitive because there's a lot of money, not just investment money, but money is passed out here, money's passed out there for green initiatives, and not just green, just for environmental initiatives. Like in 2008, in part of the stimulus was to build an $80 million ship, big like a destroyer, like an aircraft carrier, and it was just to go out and to navigate the stars and to check the environment out. You know what I mean? In other areas, we in the U.S. economy, we spend a lot of money on preserving wildlife and preserving nature areas. These are people that people can understand. An endangered species. Protect the gator, protect the panther, protect this snake, protect this river rat, protect these ants, protect these bees. This is all part of the culture of the environment. Again, this is CORP Exchange Television. My name is Lord IBO Hearts, and you're watching the Wide World of Trade report. So as we're moving right along, the globalization affords businesses survival to survive and to be to a concept and the adaptation of the evolution that is long term. Now the key word there is long term. So when you're doing these investments, you're not saying, not as far as the stock goes. Another one is solar energy, the sun energy, the wind energy. This all works together. And you're saying, the globalization change is happening. More people are on the planet now, more than ever. As a record, there's more people alive than dead. From the history of when the world started, when people started counting human beings, there's more people alive than there are dead. So that tells a lot about human evolution and where we're going. And that's a long-term thing. So, you might say, well, we're making a play to do fossil fuel or something like that. That's not 5 years. Where is fossil fuel? And the investors are like, hey, I put $10 billion, I put $10 million, I want to see my returns. If you're thinking like that, then don't invest in it. Because it's more like, I'll pose a question to you, which was posed to me. On the planet, as human beings, just looking around in your area, or your town, or your municipality, or your country, you might be in China watching this video. You might be in South Africa. Excuse me, I got people in South Africa that follow us frequently. And, you turn to the person next to you and you ask them, are we existing or are we surviving in this world? You see what I'm saying? So, you really have to take things take things and take it seriously and don't let it get out of perspective. You do what you want to do. I don't like to tell people what they need to do, but when you're talking about environmental issues, especially dealing with investments. I think that's the top tier of a priority for human beings on this planet. This is taking place both in business and personal levels, as well as the investment level. And though technology is, and a lot of it is technology based, the objective is to be profitable and to defeat a very competitive emerging markets. So with that being said, you're going and you're looking, saying, well, all of the economies are doing it now. You know, we learned this from COVID. We learned a lot from COVID. You know, when COVID came in the U.S., you know, some people were going in their schools and spraying the schools. But when we looked at China, they were doing it walking down the street, doing it on the buses. You know, so, you know, you really got to take things into perspective. How are they thinking versus how we thinking? You know, I don't know the facts of the COVID, but they said it originated and it started its push into the world from the Orient. Again, I don't know how true that is, or I don't know much about the COVID, but by the time it hit the U.S., people were saying it was already here for months and months and months. You know, people had already been getting sick and were already croaking from the COVID, and the way that it was handled over here versus the way that it was handled over here, you could look at moving forward in environmental issues with animals, with plants, and you can see the different ways that people handle environmental issues. And again, though it's technology based, you know, the objective is to check out, well, how is this emerging market, how is this economy over here handling it versus this one over here versus how I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So it's very competitive. There's a lot of pitfalls in regards to many choices and which are the best innovative ideas. So what happens there again is people say, well, you know, I'll ask you another question, you know, are you a Renaissance man? You know, I'll say, I'm a Renaissance man. Are you a Renaissance man? I would argue a Renaissance man is a person who maybe doesn't like change, but will accept change and make the adjustments. I don't like change. Me personally, not to get off of fact and things, but me personally, to get to know Lord IBO Risi Hearts a little bit, I don't like change. I like things to remain the same until I change them. I don't like to just be sitting there and all of a sudden, hey, you cut that tree down, you know, what gives, you know, or hey, you knocked that house down, or you're building another house in my neighborhood, you know, what's going on, you know, I'm not really a big, this new law which allows this person's to be, you know, I'm not a big person on change. But being a Renaissance man, I can accept the change for whatever it is, good, bad, or ugly, and make the adjustments in my life to be, so it doesn't make me so uncomfortable. It might make me upset, but it won't make me so uncomfortable. Getting back to the report. And, you know, you use the best innovative ideas. That's why I said, are you a Renaissance man? Because, you know, when change happens, you have to innovate. You know, you ideate for the ideas to come up, then you have to innovate and apply the ideas into making the change work for you or taking advantage of it. You know, you might look at something from the other side of your where your arch nemesis might do something, and you might be able to benefit from that. You know, being just because that's somebody I don't really dig too much. You know, they make a decision, and there's an opportunity for you to to prosper or to progress or to grow from that. You know, you take the action and you do it, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa. I think former President Trump put it Donald Trump put it best. He says, you know, you're in business not to be right, but to make money. So you have to see that it's very, very competitive across this thing. And it's real time, you know, the ideas and the technology, it's just a key for more success. I think we're out of time on this segment. How much more time? That's it. So this is Lord IBO Risi Hearts. You're watching CORP Exchange Television, and this is a wide world of trade report. Thank you, and have a very blessed day. Goodbye. Gee!